Good evening, everyone. This is Anne Marie. We're taking a look at SPY. I apologize for not having a lot of these up this week. I've been traveling a lot of things going on, and so did want to send one up for the week. Take a look at it. You know, there are a lot of folks, bears trying to justify the fact that they've shorted and things are going to roll over, and bulls trying to say, whatever, we're moving to the upside, and this is just a... Listen, in the end, we're in a range. And this was I posted this on StockTwits earlier, because we really are in a range. This was the wave up, this is the wave down. Notice how jagged this wave down is. What does that tell us about the market? It tells us that the market is a little bit nervous. It's not, hey, listen, we're moving on like this. It's just nervous. So we've got this gap here and gap here and gap here and gap here. 4 gaps. 5 if we want to choose this one and have a look. When the market is gappy and noisy like that, it does not deliver to us patterns with which we can trade high probability events. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't trade it. And in the end, if we look inside of these, we can see a series of higher highs and higher lows, and then a series of lower lows and lower highs. Right? And we can trade those regions down as they begin to develop. But in the end, when the day comes to a close, we are in a space where we go, wow, can I hang on until tomorrow? This is not a space that too many of us feel comfortable doing that. Right? So we have our stocks that are in nice, pretty formations that we can stay in. And then there's, the rest of the market that's pretty choppy. Don't try to guess where the market is going and stand in front of it. Well, maybe you can. Do whatever you want to. Here's my philosophy. Why get in front of the bus, especially if you don't know it's going to turn left or right? It just might mow you right over. Okay? So in the end, here's the range. Now, can we trade top to bottom? Yes, we can. Here's something that I do want to show you. I have something called the 50% rule, and it goes like this. If you have a trading range, the 50% line is usually a line that helps us determine what direction that we're going to go, depending on where we come into it. So if we come from above and we breach it, we're going to go to the top of the channel. Right? If we come from, if we come from below and we breach it, we're going to go to the top. If we come from above and we breach it, we're going to go to the bottom. Right? So here it crashed right down through the bottom. Now up here is sort of the mid-range. Right? And so it holds there, but eventually it loses its purchase and comes right down into the edge here. And now what did we do? We spent a whole day up above this level. Now, once in a while, this rule gets violated. And it's been violated here because it popped up and stayed the entire day in this formation. What this is supposed to telegraph is a move back up this way. Instead, we had a move that came down here. Now that's pretty weak. On top of that, yesterday, or actually the day before yesterday, we had a sell-off event that came into the level, held very nicely, and we popped rather savagely. Today, we had the same kind of sell-off event begin. We tried to bounce, notice the tip here, but in the end, we lost ground. So that to me is a sign of weakness. In the grand scheme of things, however, we're still positively located in the stochastic momentum index, and we're just barely below zero in the DPO. So a lot not to be told from this information, right? When the VWAPs are flat like this, it means that we're going to pop above and below. That's the nature of a flat line. The pluses and the minuses equal 0. So over time, what we have is a 0 momentum event. If indeed I bought here and held, I would be even right here. And the definition of momentum is the change over time, right? That means nothing. So while we're in this environment, you tread cautiously. Please trade with smaller sizes than you normally would, because you do not know where these patterns are going to hold and break. It seems like the buyers and sellers are sneaking around a little bit. We can see what's going on because we're following specific patterns in the room. But in general, if you just stare at it, you know, it's just really looking like a chop fest, wondering where it is things are going to hold. All right, bottom line, let's take a look at tomorrow. What's going to be important? We need to recapture this region right here at S2, 154.91, pretty quickly in order for us to test above that 50% line and hold it and carry through the day to the long side. If we pop up here, come into the pivot and fail it, it is telegraphing that we will get to the bottom of the space, perhaps fill the channel event. In the grand scheme of things, we are still in a minor pullback in an uptrend, and we are still going to look at things like that, right? So all that being said, if we come up, hold the pivot, that means we're going to have a very strong likelihood of positive price action into resistance levels up above. All right, so good luck trading tomorrow. Hey, listen, watch your levels, right? 2 days in a row, we've got, well, no, that didn't give us any real solid volume, as it were, but our biggest candle of the day from the hourly was the last one, and it was negative. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart and see how that looks just before we go. Yes, we can see the volume right here, right? This volume day. We've had, let's take from here to here, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down candles. And overall, this is high volume compared to this. And these are higher compared to this. But we've got this one here, right? So it looks a little bit like a wash. Maybe a little bit more downside pressure than upside pressure in terms of volume. But again, price is going to tell us everything that we need to know. And so far, price is holding. When we break a trend, notice the trend. When we break a trend by time and not price, meaning we hold our levels, it usually is telegraphing a move to the upside. All right? That's just standard rules right there. Like rules, guidelines in the market. All right? Good luck trading, folks. Keep on your toes. Tomorrow's going to be exciting.